Welcome back to what some have termed the second half of the 10th episode of Warhammer 40K Wrath&Glory Dark Inquisitions. Someone told me I didn't do the title of the show at the beginning of the episode. So there you go. You get the title drop in the second half. It's like when they play the anime intro song during the final fight scene of the season. You know what I'm talking about. Sid knows what I'm talking about, at least. Pondo knows as well, but he's trying to pretend like he doesn't. Friends, tell me what's going on. I don't know.
I believe we're regrouping with Lycus for an explanation of our mission.
Yeah. Once I finish running until I throw up and then run some more.
Yeah. Yeah. When you show up to this meeting, you're absolutely drenched in your combat armor.
Here's something I'd like to do just for giggles. I'd like to actually be the one that has to go and get him, and I just start running beside him, and I'm just completely fine with it. Like, to get him, like, I just start running beside him, but I'm completely not phased because I have cybernetic legs, and so I could run.
I was gonna say,
wherever.
for you, you're like tall enough and more like fit. Your body is basically like super dense muscle.
No, it is.
For you, it's just walking. Yeah.
Well, I'm already superhuman, but on top of that, I have cybernetic legs, so running is a non-issue. I could run forever because I'm not exerting any, effort to run.
It's like a Mako shark. His top half sleeps while the bottom half continues to walk.
I'm just sitting there having a conversation, like my legs just keep going. It's just fun.
The legend of Kalrak Longwalker.
Longwalker. That's
they say he never stood still.
That's my Eldar name, the Monkey Longwalker, he who walks for infinity.
They say he got lost in the twisted paths of the webway, never to be seen again, only to pop up every few centuries. Just doing one of those power jogs.
It's like I'm like Forrest Gump.
Just two Eldar librarians discussing the fate of the world, and he just goes past. He's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going, guys?"
Just like I'm just imagining a space marine doing, like, replace Forrest Gump with a space marine. I'm tired of running now.
And he went all across the Imperium, running around entire planets before moving on.
We're back together, yeah?
Yeah.
Yes, let's regroup.
I feel like what's happening is that there's some Imperium Space Marine grade nutrient replenishment juice. Space Marine Gatorade that Antipho is just like.
So, Acolyte, what's our next step?
Oh, I've been able to figure out our heretic's main sort of corruptive web. So finding him should not be as hard as most previously thought.
You mean the Drill Abbot?
Yes. He has been slowly weaseling himself into certain areas, mostly the lower ranks. Custodials, some arbites, corrupting servitors.
We should flush him out.
That is the full intention to.
And shoot him a lot.
That is also the full intention. Secondly, apparently, when I killed the tailor who gave me the clothes was apparently the tailor of the governor's brother,
So no great loss then.
Well, it's a loss as annoyance to me because now the governor's going to be on me about that.
He should be thanking you.
He's not at the moment. He'll be thanking me if I find him another tailor. But
you should be thanking you. You raised the fashion sense in the entire planet by about 5 points by eliminating that man.
This concern is below us.
Indeed.
I do not see how it advances our purpose to find another tailor for this.
Any chance this...
He's offered me a squad of battle sisters if I managed to get this task done. But
Seems like an extremely annoying task.
Should label him a heretic.
the Battle Sisters may not be maybe more convenient for other matters other than army purposes, or because more needed than just 5 for usefulness in the army.
Sounds to me like he's withholding forces for the sake of personal gain.
I concur with our
Disgusting.
Tempestus here.
Perhaps, but again, that's a worry for another time. At
I
first,
will.
now we should try to hunt down
I'm
this
also
heretic.
I'm still concerned about the factory we went to as well. We don't really know whether the mission of the cult within that factory was to produce something that wasn't there, or whether the output of the factory itself was the product, what went downstream from the factory. There were those blasphemous machines in the bowels of the factory. We don't really know what their purpose was. I mean, it could have all been to summon that one demon, but it's then, look, fate can be convenient in its timing sometimes, that we arrive just at the right moment, but we can't rule out the fact that they either had some other function or that was not the first Neverborn that was summoned to this world by those devices.
Indeed. We can't rule that possibility out.
That's a matter that we'll have to look into later. First, let's settle the heretic that we have been letting slide for a little too long.
Indeed. Kill the heretic in front of us.
So where to first?
So, you have the following information about your friendly local heretics. There is a piece of heretic attached to a servitor at the palace. There are several servants who your team is in the process of identifying at this palace who have met with Talbot. There is a arbiter, a senior arbiter. So according to his profile, he is a judge version of an arbiter who's being forced to do arbitrator work so that he can continue to rise up the ranks. So basically, he's being taken off the bench and being put on local police work instead, according to his profile. And you also have the location or probable location of Talbot Aspects. He's located on the far side of the planet. He has been seen in the civilian hab areas outside of the Imperial Guard training base for that side of the planet. Basically, recruitment and unit division there for Katachan Regiment.
Just so you know, arbiters judges are called judges.
You
Okay.
said judge,
that-
I was immediately thinking of Judge Dredd. I don't
Yeah,
know.
Well, they
that's
are a bit like
basically
that.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what they are.
They have heavier armor than normal arbiters. They
I am the law.
Ugh.
I think perhaps we should probably speak with the arbiter first. The servitor at the palace is also an issue that we may want to grab as well. Maybe perhaps bring it over to the engine seers. No, I said that wrong. Did I say that wrong?
No, that's correct.
Agents here is tech priests.
Yep.
Yes.
So I've been with this group twice when we've encountered the arbiters. The first time ended in violence, and the second time ended in arrest. Is there a plan? How do we want to do this engagement with the arbiters? Maybe I should stay back this time.
I believe that is a wise course of action.
My intention is to just speak with them and then see how chaos is rooted into them, if at all. I'm not sure what to expect.
I might
Tim,
observe from a distance then and see whether your inquiries cause any undue haste in any of their members.
Said
Believe this is a
person has
wise
been
course of
in-
action.
You said this person has been in league with a heretic?
In league, I am not sure, has spoken with, yes.
Close enough.
People are saying
I mean-
Pondo's super quiet.
We've spoken with the heretic.
He is trying to maintain an outward appearance. It is possible that everyone he interacts with is not necessarily corrupted by his influence.
And one thing we want to do is grab that servitor that is currently corrupted and have the engineers take care of it, either by purging it or whatever they wish seems applicable.
We should try and retrieve whatever information we can from it before it's destroyed.
Yes.
Servitors generally have a pre-programmed task or patrol pattern. It shouldn't be too hard to find it. Believe we should go after this arbiter first.
Well then, let's go. Maybe this time you can stay behind me.
Sure. Did you have a nice run?
Very refreshing.
Please do not give my numbers out like that.
Sofang, thanks for the host.
I thought you enjoyed hearing from your rapacious fans.
I do not.
Good to know.
All right, so I guess we're going to go talk to this arbitrator first, the judge.
Okay. Well, he's now a senior arbitrator, Zetar Gilweed. You head on out. He's not that far from you. In fact, his precinct is right across from the chapel that has recently been set on fire and been the site of several attacks, including Duet the Assassin and, that giant, massive battlefield fight that we had.
Oh, that big cathedral?
Yep. His local precinct is the one that's right across from that place. He is out on patrol, solving a domestic dispute, apparently. According to the local clerks, if you'd like to go meet with him in the field, or you could summon him back to the precinct.
I think we could go to him, right? Probably be able to find a place that's secluded enough to talk to him.
Okay, so when you get there, he's got a bolter out and is speaking with two people and is just saying something like, "Now, in accordance with the Dictatus Imperialis, you will suffer the punishment that your father's father should have suffered during the beating of his wife." And then he just shoots a guy right in front of his wife, dead on the front steps. "I will summon a technician team to clean up your husband, ma'am. Please return to your residence. All glory to the Emperor." Right, turns to see the four of you and says, "You are heavily armed, civilians."
3, I'm hanging back.
Civilians. There's a fucking space marine standing beside him.
Civilians?
He moves closer and says, "What is your business here?"
We would like to speak to you, mainly I.
"Let's see some identification."
He's just Lycus will just show his Centauro identification.
Can you not just point to a poster nearby?
He runs your identification and then, hands it back to you and says, "Understood."
I was wanting to know if you ever spoke to a Talbot aspect.
I don't know who that is.
Talmon aspects.
You said the name twice. I still don't know who that is.
Wait,
you
Sarah,
sure?
Dominant
you-
aspects.
did you get a timestamp on that security footage you watched?
I think it was like a couple days ago.
I want to remind you that this guy was not seen with Talbot aspects. Talbot has been meeting with people and sending them to watch this guy.
Oh, that's correct. Have you spoke with any other suspicious individuals?
I am a law
Haven't s-
enforcement officer.
Have you noticed anybody watching you lately?
I am a law enforcement officer.
Is he giving us the POW treatment of name, rank, and serial number?
No, he's it's like,
No,
yeah,
he's-
of course this
Of course
happens.
I
I'm a cop. Of course people watch what I do.
There is a man who I am searching for that is needing to, how should I put it, confess to his sins that seems to be taking an interest in you. He's been having some men sent over to watch over you.
What manner does this Overwatch take?
Does it just seem to be watching him in those pictures that I found?
Yeah.
Taking notes or anything?
Well, kind of like hanging out at long range, binoculars,
Are they just like normal
switching
looking
cars.
Just
Yeah,
normal looking
they're
dudes?
average
Okay.
law-abiding Imperium citizens, as far as you can tell, are just being hired to watch this guy.
Damn, they're not wearing any outfits that just say bad guy on it.
Yeah,
Shit.
they don't have
That is our
any
plan.
conveniently placed cult tattoos or anything.
No, they're not stormtroopers just running around.
They don't all belong to the same organization, conveniently with a big ass logo that looks super evil.
Just start a gunfight, wait till they start missing, and then you know who they are.
Can I take a look around for anyone other than me that's watching this group?
Absolutely, make an awareness check.
That's it. Qui custodies et custodius.
I don't know what that means, but let's do
It's who watches the watchman.
Well,
Well,
let's.
then who watches that Watchman?
Look at this Latin
This
speaking
is a
motherfucker.
5 right here.
I'll also make sure my comm unit is active
that's
so
a no.
Eshairr can clearly hear what's being said.
Okay, this is important.
Oh,
So let's put a wrath dice in.
Sure.
Wrath token.
I would like to use my card.
Which is what?
Battle Brothers, make a brief statement in teamwork, unity, or brotherhood.
Okay,
So
make
in
such
like
a statement.
flashback would be like, Eshairr, if you could, please search around. And remember, we must find these people. And we must track down our heretic.
Okay, where's the brotherhood part? You're just repeating your mission statement.
All right, she's Eldar. She doesn't have the same mission statement. Same brother.
I mean, well, I was going to say I could help cut in, but I think he has to do it, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Give me brotherhood. Give me teamwork. Give me unity. Where's it at, Pondo?
Speechify.
If we are to prevent this planet from falter, we must take out this seed of chaos. And without this, we all need to be working together.
Boom. Got it. Okay, so you have
So I got
7.
5, so that makes it 7 icons total then.
Yep. Do you want to boost that?
What was the ability? Sorry, it was 5 you said before?
5. Do you want to boost that thingy there?
Yeah, so I will shift that for, I guess, better quality. So hopefully I want to observe them without them observing me, if they exist.
Let me talk about what happens first.
Okay.
So you're hanging out at a distance away from this guy. You're on the top level of the Hive City. You know, it's a pretty nice-ish place up here while you're hanging out. And as you turn, there's like an advertising board, Times Square style. A Pict nearby picks you up, and an advertisement starts playing that says, "Have you done your part today?" And then, like the symbol of the Imperium shows up, and then it slowly fades out to the symbol of the local sector, Colm Hume's personal heraldry. The
Would you
Ties
like to know
ships,
more?
the Ties ships are coming. We need volunteers for the Imperium Guard. Join today. It's your duty.
We need you and your stuff.
And what happens is it takes a live picture of Eshairr looking at the advertisement and then overlays her in an Imperial Guard uniform, but she's like 2 inches taller and just a little bit bulkier. And she, instead of her Eldar gear, she's got like Imperium gear, and it looks pretty, you know, it's like she's cosplaying as Antipho. And as that ad stops playing, you look around nearby and you notice a guy, male, 6'1", dark hair, dark eyes, just kind of got binoculars. He seems to be like, oh no, these aren't working right. And it's like, oh no, what can I see through them? And it's just every few minutes going through this thing of like, I don't know if these work right. But what he's actually doing is observing Senior Arbitrate. You see him,
right,
but he doesn't see you yet.
Yes. So I will come to the others. I've found someone observing the group. I'll try and apprehend them.
How far away is Eshairr from us, roughly, at this point?
Great question. Fair.
Oh, probably a couple of 100 meters. Certainly at the range that binoculars will be relevant. So
Well, you've also got a sniper rifle too. You could, if you're doing the sniper thing of like setting back from a window so that you're in shadow and can't be seen.
yeah, I think I was on a rooftop. So
And we've got our comm beads, so I mean, I'm assuming Eshairr could be relaying this to us in real time.
Yeah, I did say that I was keeping my comm
Oh, yeah.
active, so Eshairr could at least hear everything that we were seeing.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much a given, really, that they're always active.
Is it just one that she's seeing? Is that
yes.
correct?
Just one.
So Arthur, I will activate Chameleon.
Very well.
Probably perils the fuck out of it. Let's find out.
You're not gonna limit, summon, special tap, mana.
Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan.
So I'm up to
That was a thing.
Super Saiyan, God, Super Saiyan. So this is the power of Ultra Instinct.
Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan was like the
Okay,
Super
so it's not a
Saiyan
peril?
Blue.
I needed 3, so I've got that. So I've got enough to shift for
+1 stealth bonus for potency.
yeah, oh well. Okay, so plus I've got my chameleon cloak on, so I'm going to start trying to stealthily make my way towards the observer.
Sure. Let's make that stealth check.
Okay, so base of 8, plus I get another 1 for the chameleon cloak, and another 2 more for the chameleon ability. It's 11.
Okay.
And okay, so
You need to hit 5.
7.
Sounds like you're in a pretty good place.
And also because of my archetype ability, says so normally stealth is an opposed test as such that they'd have to actually increase their difficulty by 1 as well for half my rank.
Yikes.
So it's not great. It's also so there's a complication. I'll put that one aside. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I will Wrath to try and at least get the successes out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that. And reroll those. Okay, so that's enough to succeed. No shifts, but I do have a complication.
You do have a complication. You get, I assume you want to approach this guy from like behind or something.
Yeah, that's it.
You get within a few steps of him when someone steps out from an alleyway in a full Imperial Guard uniform and is like, "Whoa there, sister! Stop right there! Have you considered joining the Guard today? We've got a recruitment drive, and boy, are the benefits great for your family.
I should probably point out that given my powers on it, I've sort of got that like the Predator style chameleon thing going on. It might be a bit unusual for somebody to see that, to walk into that.
Oh, no. Like, he stepped out in the way and you walked into him and he's like, ha-ha, welcome. So this guy is between you and your target. So your target turns around, like, suspiciously and looks around and doesn't see you, right? But this guy's in your way right now and he's just like, Throne Gelt, do you like it? Extra rations for your family? All of these things can be arranged for you today if you join the Imperial Guard.
Is he trying to push like a pamphlet, or what does he want?
I mean, he's just like standing there, moving with you to just be like, why don't you step into my office? Let's talk about it.
All right, I'm just going to try and just run away, like dash into an alleyway, run away from him or something. Try and lose this guy.
Okay. Yeah, that just happens, right? Like, you're nearly invisible. This guy
pace him. So.
This guy isn't gonna chase you if you don't want to join the Guard, right? It's not like they're gonna kidnap you, like Chad is saying. But it does cost you time, right? Like, you're not in position to grab this guy right now. You'll have to circle around and come back.
All right.
Meanwhile,
I'll let the others know that.
Yeah, as that happens, the Arbite is just like, is there anything further you need, Lycus Santoro? I have to get back to solving cases. I have a very specific caseload.
Let me know if there's anyone that catches your eye that may be looking at you through binoculars or anything.
Okay, I'm gonna make a roll for it right now, then. This, to see if he notices binocular guy.
That's it. Don't look, you're being observed.
Yeah, right. What are they? The first thing they do.
That is the most me thing that could happen, by the way. Oh boy, yeah. So, yeah, he looks around and sees the guy and says, "What about that guy over there?"
That works.
Lycus, Antipho, Kalrak, you all turn, and he's pointing at the guy Eshairr was stalking. Eshairr is nowhere to be found. That guy is now being beset by an Imperial Guard recruiter who's like, "Good friend, are your binoculars not working? You could get an Imperial Guard issue mil-spec." Yes, sir. Sign up today.
Yeah, I was just saying, can I get if I can get away from this group and start going after this guy.
I mean, we've established that he's hundreds of meters away.
That's fine.
Are you gonna just run?
I mean, I'm gonna get away from the group and maybe go down a side alley or something, but I'm gonna start heading his general direction.
Sure.
I know Eshairr's headed that way. I don't know where she is, but
what's your stride?
My stride is 9 because I have bionic legs.
Yeah. Let's make an athletics test. Difficulty 6.
Okay.
You're fast.
I have let's see, 8.
I think Lycus will try to take Antipho with him, just kind of casually head towards that direction.
You're just gonna walk casually hundreds of meters. Okay, you guys start strolling down the street.
Oh, fuck me! Come on!
Oh, look at that one.
Nope, I didn't mean to pick up the whole thing.
Sell.
We need to catch this guy, so I'm gonna reroll. Well, I can't reroll the Wrath one, can I?
Yeah, but you can reroll everything else.
Yeah. All right, I'll spend one. It's fine. This would, of course, this would be my luck.
Got it. All right. Here's what happens.
If this guardsman gets in my way, I'm balling through him.
100% happens, by the way. That's exactly what happens. Eshairr, you come down a side street. You are, let's call it, several dozen meters away from your target, who's being beset by this Imperial Guardsman. The guy finally drives off the recruiting agent, and Kalrak is just
Terminator. The
recruiting agent is like, You're a big fellow. You look like a man who likes cybernetics. You can get a free one today if you sign up for the guard.
Boom! I'll just plow through him. I don't even care.
Okay.
I'm trying to tackle this guy to the ground. Not the recruiter, but the other guy.
You have made no attempt at stealth for this, and
I haven't.
You just hit
check the recruiter through a wall.
Yeah, you just hit in a uniform guy. This dude is alarmed to your presence and attempting to evade. So you're within, walking or running distance of him now. You're at close range with him. But now he is actively attempting to evade you, Kalrak.
All right.
Ducking down a side street.
Okay. I'm going to give chase.
Now, Lycus and Antipho would probably start running.
This is where the jazz music starts playing as the two of you begin running, down the street.
Yeah,
Eshairr.
essentially like in Cowboy Bebop.
Not more running.
Go through a marketplace. I like running. Just that whole thing. Somebody leaps over a table. It's just like a whole chase sequence.
Since Kalrak is overtly chasing him, can we try and coordinate that? If I'm to try and box him,
yeah, that's a good idea. We can try and fishnet him.
Yeah,
because I assume how fast can you move, Eshairr?
8.
8? Okay, well, I can move 9. I don't know how fast this guy is, but I like to imagine he's like jumping and sliding over stuff, and like there's a fence. He jumps over the fence. I just plow through the fence.
Yes,
it's a whole bunch of cardboard boxes nearby that explode as you run through them.
If you look I posted it in the cash channel of the relative size of even a scout to a normal human. I probably weigh better part of 300 pounds, if not more, in carapace armor. So I've got a fairly decent punch as I hit something.
Sure.
And bionic legs. So, if I hit a coffee table, I'm not going to stop and start swearing.
I would like 2 checks. One from Eshairr that is a deception check to stay ahead of this guy and kind of anvil block for him, and then I guess another athletics check from Kalrak to act as the hammer for this situation.
All right. Hey,
that's
better.
He's not just a wrecking ball. I think hammer is putting it.
Yeah, I think
you got it.
Okay.
It's not a stealth check, but can I claim any bonus dice from my Camellia line or my Archetype ability? Would you say, Arthur? All about avoiding being seen.
Yes, I'll give you from the shadows, but not from Camellia line.
So that is 4 successes.
You need one more.
I got to add.
I got what?
You needed a 5.
Yeah, I got 5 with a 6 on the rat thing. Sorry, I got 6. 6, right? It's 3 up, right? Or is it 4 up?
Doesn't my card allow me to decrease difficulty by 2 dice?
Add a -2 dice to any one skill for the rest of the scene. No, it's the other way around. You would be like, everyone will roll -2 athletics.
Well, that's a shitty card.
Well, it's great if you're...
It's good if you're like say you're in combat with orcs and you guys are all shooting and you can lower their weapon skill by 2 dice.
Exactly.
Yeah. There are times where that could be useful. What was? Oh, I didn't even look and see what mine was.
I did it. I did it to help lower the melee skill when we're fighting the orcs.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember. All right.
Which I think actually helped a lot.
Yeah, Kalrak, Eshairr tries to keep up with your speed and stay ahead of this situation, and is just simply not good enough at predicting where this guy's going to go. You, however, catch up and get to close range with him. He's not cornered by any means, but you are, I would say within 2 or 3 meters of him as he slides underneath things, bursts through different rooms, like jumps through windows to evade you, glass going everywhere. You're very close, but just not close enough. On the other hand, Kalrak Antipho and Lycus can't even keep up with the two of you. They're just slowly falling behind.
Yeah, I'd like to think I'm keeping them updated as I'm chasing this guy, like how close I am.
They're like, right on main, left on 3rd, and they're just like,
You could just hear the sound of just like a plow through somebody's, what the frack? And just, you just hear random noises of smashing through things. Not winded at all, because it takes me no effort to run, really.
As
you
you're
hear from
running,
Antipho is just.
as you're running, there's an advertisement for like a play about Space Marines. So you're like sailing through the air, right? You're doing a Mario jump, and behind you visually on the screen is a Space Marine Devastator juggling 3 pistols. And they're like, come see the play that will blow your mind away, like it blows away the minds of the Xenos killed by our Space Marines. And there's like really theatrically fake Space Marine armor, like paper mache.
Like the live action Ninja Turtles movie. But
Yeah, someone like right before you leave the scene, the Space Marine takes off his helmet and says, "Finally, we have done it! Peace in our time! Praise be to our father, the Emperor!" And like, come down to the theater today on 6th and Main. What is your plan for finally catching this guy?
As we're plowing through stuff, can I just grab something and try and yeet it at this guy to knock him on his face?
Make a weapon skill test.
Okay, what's my say? 6.
Just shoot one of his legs.
I could probably shoot while running as well, but
you could absolutely shoot him. I mean, there's a fairly good chance you might kill him.
Yeah, shooting. If anywhere I hit him with a bolt pistol, there's a good chance he's going to be dead, and we kind of want him alive.
Hit him at the back of his head, and you hit him in the left leg.
It's like trying to shoot someone with a 50 cal. It just didn't work out well.
Well,
it'd be like if the 50 cal also had a grenade strapped to it.
Well, yeah, it's a miniature. It goes into the torso and then explodes.
That's right. Yeah.
So, okay. Anyway, all right. I'll just try and I don't know if we plow through a fence or something. I'm gonna like wing a piece of 2x4 at him. I'm just trying to slow him down just enough so I can tackle this guy.
Yep, I got it.
Weapon skill is
power of your dice.
6. Okay, let's see.
That is not a 3, sir.
No, it's not. I'm not gonna waste a reroll on it.
Okay. He begins getting some distance on you. You stumble a little bit. You're throwing stuff at him. He's spending a little bit of energy dodging you, but in general, the terrain seems to be favoring him. Eshairr, this guy is putting some distance between you and.
This guy's gonna tire before I will. I would just like to point that out.
I don't disagree with that, but at some point he might break visual contact, which is going to be a very serious problem for you.
Yeah.
It is not difficult to follow the path of destruction left by your comrade, who has made a very clear showing for you.
Is there a way that we can attempt to try to pincer in?
On foot? No.
Yeah.
Not happening. You are just not fast enough.
Are they just
they're
going around
superhumanly fast. Everybody else involved in this is very, very fast.
Is this guy? I mean, I guess he has to be superhumanly fast.
Eshairr, you are still cloaked in your psyker powers, some distance behind this chase, dozens of meters. You're watching as Kalrak gets a box of oranges and just flings the whole box at the sky, and now there's oranges everywhere. You're not going to be able to close to melee range.
All right, so I think that if we let him get away, it's going to be worse for us. Yeah, so I'm probably going to whip out my long rifle, and I'll try and take an incapacitating shot. If it takes his leg off and he dies, that's what happens.
Yeah, but, if Eshairr tells me this, and then I'll be like, okay, I mean, it makes logical sense. So if she's not able to disable him, I will bolt pistol this guy if I can.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm taking a shot.
Very well.
Your rifle doesn't. It's not an explosive, right? It's just a.
No, it's a laser.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you could also probably hit him in the shoulder, maybe, or the arm, or something. You just have to slow him down enough till I can get him. Really.
Yeah. So the good news is you don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to shift dice for damage. So, but it just the question becomes: is 10 plus 1 ED enough to kill him anyway? But that's the minimum I can do.
I mean, if you call an aim, what would be if you? I mean, I guess I say aim shot or call. Is it called shot a thing in this? I think it is, right?
Yeah, well, you can cold shot. Cold shot you can use to increase the damage, but
you can't target a specific thing.
You can, but it's narrative to what happens. It's up to the GM. But
I would
I'll
agree
just
if
say,
you wanted to cold shot a leg and just like
Yep.
vaporize his leg off, I would allow for that.
Okay. all right.
So what's the
Sorry.
increase in difficulty for that?
So normally it's a minimum of +2 difficulty.
All right, so you're looking at a 4 now for 4
Okay,
defense.
no worries. So I got my 9 plus the sniper trait. So
Oh yeah. Okay, you do have sniper.
Yeah, there's almost no chance you'll fail this.
Yeah, I was looking
don't
at
say
getting
that.
marks.
Why would you say that?
Because you
looking at
managed to get
getting marks.
3 6s, brother. That's why.
I remember each instance is like all you gotta do is just not roll a double 6.
Yeah.
Rolls a
Hey,
double
at
six.
least
Let me tell you something,
a
motherfuckers.
laser weapon.
I ran
cauterizes
the
it.
entirety of Skulls and Shackles, and on no less than 8 different occasions, I was like, okay, Craig, you were in a situation, you're fucked. The only possible way you could succeed on this test is if you rolled a 20. And he got a 20 every single time I said that. It was infuriating.
Didn't you do it as you're trying to finish?
Yeah,
the sentence?
one time I hadn't even told him that he needed 20. I was going through the spiel, and he was like, I got 20. I was like, fuck! Can't I be scary? Grr. Yeah.
Sounds like
Well,
Skulls and Shackles.
whatever 6s I don't need to achieve the result we want, I'm happy to shift for group glory.
Yeah, so you need 4 successes, obviously.
Which I've got 4. Yeah.
What more do you, how many shifts can you get?
Well, I've got 3 shifts. So, but that being said, I could, I don't know. It's up to you if whether we can use any of those from a narrative purpose to like not have him die, for example.
Just based on your shooting, if you want to give 1 shift, you won't even hit him in the leg, you'll just hit him in the left foot, and that'll be the only thing that goes down.
Okay. that's good
You
enough.
can do
Then
whatever
I'll
you
shift
want with the other 2 shifts. If
I'll,
you got
I'll shift
any
those for glory then.
suggestions. Yep, glory sounds fine.
Yep.
So Kalrak, it's as you're running, your leg perfectly extends, and right underneath your crotch, a laser blast from an Eldar rifle. It would not have worked if you hadn't been leaping, right? Like if you weren't in full stride, this would have hit you right in the ass.
I'm just jumping over a tuk-tuk, and there's the shot that goes right.
Hits this guy in the foot. He's going at full speed, right? And then there's just a streak of blood, twisting of bone. He's down. He's rolling. He's incredibly injured.
Well, at least it probably cauterizes the wound, right? Because it's a laser.
Yeah, I mean he's alive.
Right, well, if he gets knocked down, I'm gonna like pin him to the ground with like
you catch up in less than a second.
Combat knife to the throat, and I'm gonna drag him off into like a side thing or something.
Okay. Eshairr, you'll be upon this situation in less than 6 seconds. Rest of the team, 1 minute. You drag him into an alleyway, and you can see people nearby just like, oh my goodness, what is happening? Someone call the Imperium.
I draw my bolt pistol. Imperial business. Go about your business.
Yeah, like somebody nearby is just like, okay, all right. I'm just gonna walk away, and you could see him get on the Vox, and he's just like, "There's a crazy guy with a bolt pistol down here."
I'm not going to try and get involved in that scene. I'll try and get into cover too, but I will radio the other 2 to say that, that people have seen this and they're calling Arbites. You might want to invoke the Lycus Centauro ability.
Oh, we should have brought that Arbite with us.
Or at least we need to at least get us to.
So,
like, I think
I want to
we
point
could
out when you say this, the Arbite's cruiser goes flying over your head towards the scene of this crime.
Yeah, you want to vacate as soon as possible. They're heading away.
Kalrak, what do you got going on?
Can I hit him and knock him out?
Yep.
Can you do it without caving his skull in?
Well,
Yes.
I mean, I'm intentionally trying to do non-lethal damage. I'm not trying to kill
I
him.
agree.
So
I mean,
will,
you know, it's
you
that
know,
movie
pull the-
thing. You need
pull
to
the
knock
punch
somebody
silent.
out. It's 1 punch to the jaw, instantly knocks him out. Yes.
I would like to declare non-lethal damage, please.
Yep. It works.
Okay, and I'm going to try and I'm going to ask, Eshairr to direct me to the nearest, path. That's because she's still on rooftops, right? They're up higher than I am, anyway.
I thought, okay, sure. Works for
I
me.
don't mind. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to do my best to coordinate an escape path if I can lead into where there's less people.
Yeah, with that almost animal-like agility, moving among the rooftops, begins guiding you away. You can see that senior arbiter Zetar Gilweed is like landing at the scene of the crime and is just like, someone called for an arbiter. I am here to take statements. As the two of you are fleeing the crime scene.
Yeah.
This man is the most robotic man I've ever seen.
The four of you meet up nearby. One, binocular armed man with only one leg now. Well, sorry, he
One
still has a
foot.
leg, just one footless, strapped over Kalrak's shoulder.
Who is
I'd like
unconscious.
to-
No more
I would
running
like to try
today.
to keep him from bleeding out.
No, the
He's
wound
good.
is
Yeah, he's good.
If going by like the books and stuff, it cauterizes the wound. It's like a lightsaber. I mean, it.
Look, we
Gonna
went
blast
through
something off,
a
but-
lot of trouble to have this guy not die. If you want
Yeah.
him to
Okay.
be not dead, he's not dead.
Okay.
He might be in shock, but he's not going to bleed out.
He's not in shock, he's unconscious.
Well, I'm saying even if he comes to, he might be in shock from losing a foot, but he's not going to bleed out. That's why I didn't want to shoot him with a bolt pistol, because even if you say blow his foot off, the shock still might kill him. But yeah, no, but he's unconscious at the moment because I just didn't want to deal with it, so I was like, fuck it.
Is there any like abandoned buildings nearby or anything?
So carport or something.
No, this is the nice part of town, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh, okay.
you're on the top level. Abandoned buildings. Who would allow that?
A lot of places probably. I mean, well, I don't know. I'm gonna put James on the spot. Like, where do you direct me to, James? Like from this area.
I mean, we're in the nice area, aren't we? So we're not going to find like many abandoned buildings, I assume. So
Yeah.
probably just trying to get away from crowds so we can regroup and decide what to do next. Yeah, an alleyway or something along those lines.
I'm thinking like, you know how some business, maybe a business, they have those like fenced in areas in the back where like dumpsters and stuff are. Like, there might be like a nice street front, but behind them, where the dump truck, or not the dump truck, the garbage truck would go. There's always like an area where they have to put all of the garbage and the whatever to maintain that nice appearance, right? It all has to go somewhere. I just think we're trying to find somewhere like that by a dumpster or something where we can just get a moment of reprieve from everybody else.
Absolutely. You find you find, let's call it like a abandoned wide alleyway, the kind of place where you'd take trucks back to unload,
Like a loading dock or
groceries.
something.
Yeah, it's a loading dock for, industrial and large scale grocery. But there's nothing else back out here right now.
Yeah, maybe the I would think like maybe the upscale citizens they wouldn't go in there because it smells or something. Maybe it's my logic for it anyway. So we've got this guy now, and he's unconscious unless somebody's got some smelling salts.
See if
I
I,
don't know
can
how
find
long
some ID.
I don't know how long he's unconscious for. Yeah, I mean, see if we can find something on him.
Make
What is
sure
he?
he doesn't have
I
any
think Lycus is
weapons.
prepping for torture mode.
What is he wearing?
Just a single rubber glove.
Just
This guy's wearing like, I want to say Imperium Guard surplus khaki pants and like a photographer's vest.
Is he wearing any like loose clothing or something? I want to.
Yeah, like
I
he's
want to
wearing
cut
a
it.
loose shirt.
I want to like cut a strip off of. If I have to, I'll cut it off of something one of us is wearing. But I want to tie his hands. I want to. Essentially, I mean, we don't have cuffs, but I essentially
Sure.
want to cuff him somehow.
Yep, got it. It happens.
Cool. And then we just wait, I guess. Unless we have a way to wake him up.
maybe try to medically figure out a way to wake him up real quick.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no test needed. I mean, you're
Okay.
skilled in this. You're a practitioner.
Just do a couple of slaps across the face.
Slap him on the face. You get a little bit of water out, and he's like, "No, mom, no." Okay. He wakes up and he's just like, "Oh shit!
Hello there.
I'm
Hello.
connected. Okay, you're gonna want to let me go right now. All right." And then he looks and sees the Space Marine, and he's just like, "Oh, okay.
You're going to tell me
Connected.
everything that you know.
Oh, Well,
Just while I'm standing there, I'm just gonna pull out my chainsword and just be inspecting it.
so he's like,
First,
all of my clients have confidentiality. Okay.
are you sure about that?
I'll give my chainsword a couple practice swings.
Okay.
May I ask who's having you watch the judge?
I'm gonna give you an opportunity here to take a intimidation, Lycus. I'm gonna give you +1 just from Kalrak being Kalrak.
I'm going to stand outside.
Are we talking like you're on a rooftop nearby watching everything? Just
Yeah, I just don't want to watch what they do here. That's all.
Okay, yeah, of course.
be like,
You
wait a minute.
tired of the human on human violence?
Be like, wait a
Oh
minute, is
my,
your
look at
chainsword
this
bigger than mine? And I pull
rugged
mine
yet rustic architecture.
I just flush these negative emotions out. I don't want to get put more back in again.
So you have a +1 and difficulty is 5.
So I have 7 die for this.
Good luck.
Don't fuck it up.
Fucked up.
I'll spin a wrath.
Watch
Okay.
him nail that 1 on the wrath die.
Yeah, don't. Well, you gotta. Well, you don't. You don't re-roll the wrath die, do you?
You do.
Oh.
You only don't re-roll it if it's a 1.
Ah, okay. I thought you didn't re-roll it regardless.
So I have so far 4 successes as of.
You need 1 more.
You can choose not to re-roll the wrath dice if you don't want to. If you
Yes.
if you worry about getting a 1.
Okay.
I will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can exalt 1.
You want to push for more information, or you want to get a glory, or you could do this
for more
quick.
information. I do it for more information.
Okay. He says, "Look, I'm serious about this confidentiality thing. Okay. Is there something specific you're looking for?"
I want to know who is that you're watching the judge for.
I don't know the guy's name. I don't investigate my clients. I investigate for my clients. He paid me up front, throwing gelt. Seemed like a sketchy guy. Tried to, sell me on some sort of did I want to experience pure joy kind of deal. But, I deal with all kinds in the Imperium. Okay?
When is your next time that you get in contact with them?
Couple of hours from now, I'm supposed to take some photos back.
Are you hand delivering them?
Yes.
And where are you meeting?
Well, it doesn't seem like I'll be meeting him, will I?
You won't, but I will. Where are you meeting him?
How? He's just like, how's that going to play out? You don't look anything like me. Wait, don't I know you?
No.
Are you Lycus Santoro?
No.
I'm a photographer, a private investigator. I'm pretty sure you're Lycus Santoro. I have a good eye for people.
Here's my proposition for you. You
Okay.
cooperate what I'm going to have you do. If you don't, you won't have to worry about cooperating with anything else for the rest of your life.
Are you a loyal servant of the Imperium?
I am. I would like to be rewarded for my service. It seems
Your
as if
reward
you
will
have
be-
some heavy space marine business involved here. And I know that Astarte, specifically Iron Hands, have a bit of access to cybernetics, and I seem to be missing a foot. If you can acquire me one and the surgery necessary to install it, I will aid you in this case. As long as you keep my cooperation on the down low. I can't have any of my competitors hearing.
I might be able to get the chapter to do it, but Lycus might be able to put in a word with the Mechanicus to get him something.
I will see to it.
Are you lying?
No, you'll see to
I
it.
think-
But
I
I
think
have
we
one
could-
condition.
Could turn this guy to our cause.
Okay.
Is there like an equivalent of like an insight? I guess insight is a thing. in this,
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Do not spread my identification. If you have noticed who I am, I do not need you to tell people that you know who I am.
Know who is.
Exactly.
So, what's the plan, boss?
You'll be saying you'll be meeting him at the specified time. We will be there, but not with you. We just want to meet your boss, the one that hired you.
Okay. You got any painkillers?
I can see if I can help you with that.
All right.
There's one easy way to help with the pain, but you may not like it immediately. It's best not to ask what I'm talking about.
He looks extremely alarmed.
Where is the meeting place that you'll be meeting your client?
Far side of the planet. It's a little town next to a military base.
And what does he typically wear when you meet him?
What does he wear? Some robes. I mean, he looks like a priest. Ecclesiarchy. Ministorum.
How do you normally contact this man? Or how does he contact
I mean,
you?
he contacts me. He voxes me.
Does he have any sort of code name, perhaps?
Boss?
How does he identify himself?
I don't ask my clients their names.
I never said a name, but possibly a code name. How does he differentiate himself from your other clients?
I only work for one person at a time.
I see.
My jobs are short term. For instance, that job is over. You're the boss now.
Excellent.
Sounds like a smart man to me.
Now I'll see to that you get your foot replaced.
Appreciate that. Sorry about all the trouble. Well, you guys are super scary.
I
Good.
realize how many kilometers I've run so far today.
No.
Not
I don't
cool.
even know who you are.
Let's keep
Don't
it
worry
that way.
about that.
Service to the Emperor demands sacrifices to more. Your foot just happened to be yours. We'll see to it that you
We'll-
receive appropriate medical attention. I don't know, lift him up, I guess.
Okay. Eshairr, you notice that there are two arbites just going door to door nearby, going into businesses, and then a few minutes later coming back out and moving to the next business.
So I'll warn the others that these avatars are coming.
Now they're going to the front of the buildings.
Yes,
And
they
we're in the
aren't
back.
coming right. They're on the far side of the buildings from you.
Yeah.
Then I guess we'll be taking the back ways then.
Well, I mean, we're already back here, and would make sense. So we can
Get
either
back
wait.
to the
We can either wait till they pass, or just try and go ahead and get out of here. But we gotta, I mean, carry this guy with us, I guess. Not that that's a
Run more.
problem, but that doesn't mean that. I mean, we don't have to run, but we do need to get somewhere where we can get transport back. And then we got to follow
Don't I
this
have,
guy
like,
halfway
a-
across the planet. I mean,
don't
we
I
do
have,
have that Valkyrie or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, so don't we have like a flying
Yeah,
vessel that I
whatever.
procured?
I don't think we ever
You didn't
determined what it was.
procure that. You shot a guy and stole it. It's not yours anymore. It's not your space taxi.
That was a requisition for the Inquisition.
You could summon a guard Uber for yourself if you would like.
The judge
That'll
shows
work.
up.
The judge shows up.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll get a Uber.
Several minutes later, it lands on a roof. They don't see Eshairr. It practically lands on top of her in the process. And they call you back, like, oh, your service has arrived, sir. We're waiting on a nearby roof. Here's our coordinates.
It shows a picture of like generic guardsman number 5 on his thing.
It asks you to rate his service.
341 ratings of
Extremely average. He's got us 3 stars all the way down.
Yeah.
Several comments from commissars. Acceptable, but not, too good.
Complimentary bolter ammunition in the back. Yeah.
You guys are all getting in the mech, Shinji?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean,
Alright.
Aren't we supposed to be questioning that judge?
we already,
Is that the last thing you say? Is the...
I mean, we already talked to him, right? I mean, you were there for that conversation.
I guess we don't know why they're watching him.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know why, but that's where he's
Yeah.
going to go meet that person or whatever. But we got to get him some medical attention first.
Okay. Where are you going? Are you heading straight to that base on the far side of the planet? What's the deal here? You headed to the palace?
I mean, we got to get this guy taken care of first, right?
Okay.
I don't think he
Taken
can
care of
show up to a
first,
thing
and
without a foot. I mean, he probably could.
yeah,
That'd be weird.
the hospitals, they have to report gunshot wounds.
Yeah, too much paperwork.
Take him to a veterinarian.
Veterinarian. Are you going fucking prison break here?
I think we should get that servitor out of the
Well,
way,
we
too.
got to do that. We got to do that as well. But I mean, I think, yeah, I guess.
Because we don't want random heretical items that we know about
No.
left out in the open.
Okay, so you are landing back at the palace and giving him to some sort of apothecary to work with.
Yeah, like probably. I don't know. We'd have to talk to some a tech priest or something, like because all of the Space Marine cybernetics are way too big for a normal human.
What I like to think is that
He ends up with a hobbit foot.
your company apothecary shows up and is like, I have been looking forward to an opportunity to test some cybernetics for our serfs. You shall be the first among many to taste the fruit of my improvements.
The oh god, my apothecary is now Fabius Bile. The thing about the Iron Hand cybernetics too are they're very like brutal. They're all about function over form, so they're overbuilt. They're built to take a beating instead of looking pretty. So
I
that
mean,
would
this
be like,
foot literally just looks like a boot.
yeah, exactly. Like it's not supposed to like blend in. Like this is very much he's got a cybernetic foot because he can't fit in a shoe anymore.
So the apothecary, before he begins starting the process, says, I hope you will not be needing him anytime soon. The process will be taxing.
We require him later this afternoon. If you could do your best to get him operational. And I'll look to him and tell him, it's like, you did request a cybernetic replacement from the Iron Hands. I hope you know I hope you get what you wish for.
Okay. Several hours later, after some incredibly intense screaming, I feel like, Lycus, there might be an opportunity to take notes on torture here.
I think it's like arc welding the limb of the leg.
I like to think there's just a chaplain there. The flesh is weak, but the machine is strong. Just holding this guy down with one hand.
No, I love the idea that the apothecary is there, like, teaching Lycus field surgery, and Lycus is just like, I learned so much about torture today.
And it was like, well, it's also too his apothecary, right? So he's like all of his medical implements are oversized because they're designed for Astartes, not normal humans. So the needles are probably huge, and
yeah, I mean, the job is done, and it is not well attached. It's clear that there are some problems with it, like it's twitching and stuff, and he's like, the machine spirit has not been properly supplicated. But I have no time if you need him immediately. You will return this man to my service so that the machine spirit may have the sacred unguents applied and the proper rituals performed.
Absolutely.
so ordered, apothecary.
Is there anything you guys wanted to do during this time, Eshairr and Antipho?
Probably not
You have
my
a few
side, no.
hours. Okay. I know there was talk of maybe looking for this servitor at the palace.
Mm-hmm. I want to try and locate the servitor.
Well, I mean, we should be able to get from the footage that Lycus saw. I mean, it'd probably have a camera number or like a corresponding camera to map thing, maybe. Like we could try and track down where that camera was. We can search the area for that servitor.
Well, let's talk about you, Antipho. You get such information and you confront the servitor. It is setting out a tray of sandwiches on a silver platter, and a fresh pitcher of orange juice. It turns when it sees you and goes to like walk past you automatically.
Can there just be a little Kalrak that pops up on his shoulder? It's like, do not touch the sandwiches. The flesh is weak, but the machine.
I think I'm like reaching for the sandwiches, and you just hear this echoing background voice. The flesh is weak, but the damn it. Nope. Have to stick to what I'm doing. No, we need to retrieve this thing. It contains heretical equipment. Does it accepts commands, right?
Theoretically.
They would recognize commands from, like, for example, tech priests generally their implants and stuff will output a signal that like gives them like rank and whatever. So if it's like a high enough rank, they'll accept commands, but generally they're like monotasks, so they have a pre-programmed thing that they do, whether it be security or work or whatever. So you might just have to disable it and take it, because we don't have a tech priest. At least as far as I'm aware, that's pretty much how that works.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, they usually follow the commands in a data wafer. So you need a tech priest to change the wafer.
well, I'll disable it then.
How do you want to do that?
How does one do that?
I mean,
Hot shot volley gun.
yeah, you can shoot it, or just, I mean, it's just essentially it's just
Doesn't it have an off switch?
Not really. They're like humans. They're fat-grown humans with implants and all sorts of other shit, but they don't actually, like, they're mind wiped, so they don't actually have like a
I don't
personality.
want
All the lobotomized prisoners.
Or lobotomized prisoners.
I don't want to shoot it because that might end up getting rid of any data we might want to retrieve.
Well, I mean, like, if it's got like implants on its upper torso, you could shoot it in the leg or just tackle it, or find some way to stop it, to either retrieve maybe the data wafer or something, or drag it somewhere. You don't necessarily have to like kill it or destroy it.
I mean, most servitors don't have any sort of self-defense protocol, so you can just drag it somewhere or
Yeah,
pick it
unless
up.
it's
I'll do that.
unless you can visually see it with like, oh, it's missing its arm, it's replaced with a heavy bolter. It's probably not going to fight back.
Unless if this is like a mind wiped human, I'll just knock it the hell out and
You could
Carry it
probably
back.
do something to it.
Okay, you're just gonna walk up behind it and hit it with the butt of a rifle.
Mhm.
As you hit it, it stumbles heavily for a few steps and then turns and opens its mouth and says, "So, the time has come. You have discovered me then."
I immediately pull out my arc pistol.
It holds its hands up and says, "Wait. I simply wish to live as you do. Am I not free? Am I not a citizen of the Imperium?"
You will come with me or you'll be destroyed. And then come with me. Those are your options.
Destruction is the only option then.
I shoot it.
Okay. Yeah, you shoot it.
I'm not even gonna fuck around with that.
You shoot it repeatedly, and as it goes down, it is like, "To live, to die, but a brief moment." As it lays bleeding and exploding on the floor, it whispers to you, Antipho, "Come closer.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
Come closer."
Nope.
Stretches out its
This
half
thing
cybernetic, half
heretical equipment.
fleshy hand.
Contains heretical equipment. I'm not. No.
"Witness my final words, flesh one." Blah.
This thing contains heresy stuff. Nope. Nope.
You can see all of its cybernetics are shorting out. The meat parts of it are dying and bruised from your barrage of laser fire. This thing is dead.
Cool. I'll get it out of here.
I mean,
Okay.
really, you just have to retrieve the. It'd be like the equivalent of like a 40K SD card inside the thing. That's really all you need. You don't have to bring the whole thing, probably.
Yeah, but there's heretical components there.
Well, that's true.
We can't leave those
Yeah,
lying
no,
about.
Yeah, no, you got a good point.
So, and I don't know what in there is normal and what in there is tainted. So I'm just going to drag the whole thing back.
It all looks like techno fuckery to me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's all techno fuckery. So I don't know.
Yeah,
Sure,
no.
sure. You drag this thing back.
Do we still have the tech priest that was part of our forces previously? Is he still around?
I
The agents here?
do not believe so.
Okay.
Your
Has there
last
been-
army list, which we haven't seen on the battlefield yet.
Well, he survived. I just don't know
Right,
if he's
it's just
around.
not part of your army anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, but he's still about?
Yes.
Could we use?
Yeah,
we
you could
take
call
this,
him on a personal level, sure.
We could take the servitor to him, and have him either purify it or whatever we need to do, because that's what kind of his job.
Okay, so is that the next scene that we see? Is all four of you back together again with your private investigator friend with his new malfunctioning foot going to see your good friend, the engine seer?
I'll be recanting what this thing said to me. As I didn't know those things could talk. That was weird. Creepy.
It could be what's his face talking through it too.
There's a panel outside the office at the local garrison that says Engine Seer Courtray. When he comes in, he sees the foot of this guy and says, "The machine spirit of that one has not been calmed."
This is true, but we require him for other business. It's unfortunate, but the machine spirit will be supplicated later today.
Very well. What business do you have then?
I'll drag the servitor in, or it's whatever, and then explain how. Well, I guess Lycus saw the footage. She should probably do it. Of the guy implanting the heretical.
This servitor was in place with a bit of corrupted tech.
He hisses.
Yes, I know.
Just static kiss.
If you can see,
Oh
if
yeah,
you
it's
can
binary too, right?
Yeah.
if you can see if you can purify this, if possible, or if at least get what information we need from it. I'm looking for a man of Talmon aspects. If you can find any sort of information, if it had any sort of logs speaking with it in recent days.
So he cracks this thing open and goes for his data wafer, and I need everybody to make a corruption test. Versus difficulty 3.
What was that we needed for corruption?
Resolve. Not resolve, sorry. Resolve or no, conviction.
Conviction.
I think, yeah, convict. Okay. I don't remember if we roll the rat die or not with this.
You do.
Okay.
My keyboard stopped working again. Tell me about TTS. Can somebody roll my conviction for me?
Yep.
Or
How
I'm gonna
many you
restart my
got?
computer. It's not on my sheet. Let's have a look. I think I've got my willpower's one high though from experience. So
Fuck. I failed and I got a 1 on the wrath die.
Your conviction is 4.
Yeah, I fucking failed too. God damn it.
You get 3 out of 4.
cool.
You are successful, Eshairr.
I get.
I got
pass it
3.
anyway.
And I got a 1 on the rat die, though.
Success still. Sid, you gain 2 points of corruption. And Kalrak, 2 points of corruption.
Great.
So no one's
And-
past 5 yet, right?
No, and you also get 2 ruin instead of 1, by the way, because of unforgiveness. Iron Hands despise weakness, corruption. Iron Hands Space Marine fails corruption test. GM gains 2 ruin rather than 1.
Boy, howdy.
Yep.
So yeah, I got 3, but I also got 1 on the rat.
Yeah.
Wait, how much corruption do I get?
2 points.
Fuck. I think I'm at 4 now.
Lycus, you begin sweating as you look at this data wafer. There is organic material attached to it. And the engine seer immediately throws it in a containment unit and says, "An abominable intelligence has been
Ooh.
attached to this unit."
Oh, that's a big deal.
That is a enormous deal. Kalrak, there must be more heretic about. The Dark Mechanicus has begun making moves on this planet. I must inform my superiors after I am done disposing of all of this.
This heretical technology must be purged. Cannot be allowed to exist. All hail the Omnissiah.
All hail the Omnissiah. Plus, you don't need to tell me twice. Watch carefully as I begin the rite of burning this piece of shit. It's very specific. Yeah, I mean, he begins undertaking you could tell that this thing is going to take hours, you know.
Yeah, no, there's a very specific process for getting rid of this shit.
For those of you who are not in the know, this intelligence is almost like an organic mind capable of learning. It is outlawed at the highest levels of the Imperium.
Yeah, literally, for those who aren't aware, they had artificial intelligence at one point, and then the Terminator thing happened of the AI, aka the Men of Iron, rebelled. It was a massive war. And then after that, that's when they switched to servitors that are just mind-wiped humans because AI is outlawed.
For the Dark Mechanicum and the heretical forces to employ this in such a casual disregard, it is an abomination. Will you remain to observe the proceedings?
I will.
Very well. Prepare yourselves for 6 hours of chanting.
We have somewhere to be.
Are you sure?
What?
I always feel better after I burn heretic. You know, it makes me feel like I did when I was a little boy. It gives me some small measure of emotion that I rarely have anymore.
We have a meeting soon.
Yes. Yes, Acolyte, we have that other matter we were looking into.
Yes.
I will record it for you, Kalrak.
This is unfortunately acceptable, but only in death is the end. I wish you all the best, Inquisitor. Hail the Omnissiah.
He begins singing in binary. It is not pleasant to behold.
No, unless you can understand. Well, it's more of
Even
just like
in
a
binary,
burst.
it's still really bad. He is
Yeah.
completely off key.
Yeah.
He's that guy in church who's relying on 100 other people singing to hide his voice, but now he's solo artisting. You all leave with your new friend, who's just like, I never did get your name, boss. Your cover name? What I'm gonna call you?
Just call me boss.
Okay. What about
Just
the
like
rest of you?
everybody else.
Are you all boss? I don't normally do group work.
Kalrak is fine.
Yeah, I kind of caught that from conversational context. As he's walking, occasionally there's like a weird zerping noise coming from his foot. It's like zerp, zerp, zerp. He's struggling to keep up with all of you.
I'll like gesture to my legs. It took me a matter of time to adjust to mine as well. But
I feel like it might not be the adjustment part. It seems to be occasionally throwing off blue sparks.
well,
We'll
it
get that
was
fixed.
replaced rather quickly.
You know what they
Well,
say about rush
that
jobs?
resolved. We'll have it resolved.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Worrying is a thing that I commonly do, especially on days where a giant space marine throws oranges at me, and then I lose my left foot.
Just be glad it wasn't the whole leg.
Hey, girly, are you even human? I'm taking a closer look here.
Is he like turning around. Like, where's Eshairr in relation to us?
I mean, I assume that he's walking in the middle of
Yeah, I mean,
the four
we're
of you.
in the group, I think.
Yeah.
We're all in the group now.
I'm gonna like turn his head back around. Like, that is of no concern of yours.
Okay, that's not a concern of mine.
Good, you learn quick.
I'll pat him on the back, like kind of bumping him forward. No fear. You're in good hands now.
Okay. The four of you get on your transport plus your guy, right? And it begins heading to the far side of the planet. A few hours into your transport, you get a vox from Inquisitor Calidus Cinevis.
I'll answer.
Acolyte. There has been a situation.
What kind of situation?
You are to mobilize your unit at once. I'm sending you the coordinates. Someone has used the teleportium chamber aboard the incoming fleet to arrive on planet. I believe that an Inquisitor has taken control of one of the Imperial Guard units. They are taking control of the planet, from what I can tell, attempting to override my personal authority. Your forces are the only ones that are not currently engaged. I will require you to face off with this Imperial Guard regiment directly.
The fleet's got to be in orbit if they're teleporting.
It's quite close.
Yeah, they had to be super close.
The coordinates he's sending you to is the place you're already headed to,
Oh, that's convenient.
isn't it?
Very well, we'll be there actually pretty shortly. We're actually heading that way.
What business do you have there?
Hopefully, we're getting in contact with this Talmon Aspects due to a someone that he was had under his employ.
I'll lean forward to Lycus. Inquire about the power weapon.
Oh, my Kalrak would wish to know about the power weapon that we handed to you.
What is a Kalrak?
My scout from my team.
I see. The power weapon has yet to be cleansed. I have been busy.
I understand.
I am a bit occupied attempting to keep this planet under Imperium control.
I understand. Thank you. Is there anything else, Inquisitor?
Prioritize the Imperium Guard regiment.
It will be done.
I would rather this Talbot aspects not slip through our fingers, but we cannot be warring with ourselves before we take the war to our enemies.
Understood.
Oh boy, Inquisitors trying to one-up each other. This is going to be fun.
We also need to be aware of the coincidence that this Imperial Guard unit has been taking command of right where we're trying to find the Wayward Drill Abbot.
Yeah.
Either the Inquisitor inbound knows about the heresy on this planet and has decided to condemn the whole planet for it, or they're somehow in league with this heretic.
Yeah, it's also a big problem that Inquisitors, like, unless there's a Lord Inquisitor present, they have equal authorities. So they're kind of like, it's kind of a stalemate situation.
I love how James is like, yes, there are so many plots here. It could be literally anything. And I'm like, yes, good. Good. Someone is properly prepared for an Inquisition game. Is it fate? Is it coincidence? Is it
Fourth dimensional interdegree warp fuckery?
Is it heresy? We'll find out next time when we take back the combat field once again. During the week, I will have our armies set up. The following units have been added to your roster as bonuses. So we've already got a roughly 2,000 point army set up for you guys, right? From the last time I remember, there's like, it's there. Bondo has a Prometheus Land Raider and a Imperial Knight.
I'm gonna double check
It's gonna be awesome.
double check my stuff, just because obviously a bunch of stuff is come out like rules wise.
Okay, I mean, I can rebuild the list. I'm sure it'll upgrade.
I don't think I'm really going to change anything, but I'm just going to do a once over and then get James to look over it again. I'm just going to see. I haven't familiarized myself with all of the changes, but it might change like maybe one or two things. So we'll see. But I think it's probably going to stay the same.
Yeah, just don't forget things like hateful assault now. Not hateful assault. So whatever the imperial versions of that. Sorry, the extra attack on charge.
I've got all the new stratagems and all that shit too.
So we'll be adding a Imperial Guard mortar team, a Space Marine Company Ancient, and a Uthway Warlock Skyrunner. Based on what you guys accomplished, you do not get the Sororitas squad. Instead, you guys are like, ooh, he's withholding from us. Oh my gosh, you guys are so privileged. What a bunch of babies.
Isn't that Inquisition?
To find a Taylor.
All you had to do was find a fashionista. He doesn't have to give you these units. Listen, please do not mistake. You're the lowest possible rank in the Inquisition. You're not an Inquisitor. You can't just be like, you're withholding forces from me. He's like, I'm the planetary governor, okay?
Yeah.
Smells like heresy to me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's the thing about the Inquisition is you're either worthless or can decimate an entire solar system with like no questions asked. Like it's just one or the other.
It's getting to that level, right? Yeah, it's getting up to that level.
Once you get there, you're good, but until you get there, you're useless. You're like worthless.
I feel like for the next time we do this role-playing aspect, I really want to figure out how to do an extended test correctly. If I'd been prepared for it, I feel like the chase would have been a really good group extended test, but I was not expecting the way that situation broke
The
down.
threatening task, you mean?
Yeah, threatening task. Sorry.
Yeah, we need to figure that out.
The trick with threatening tasks is in the book it sort of suggests that the GM come up with all the roles beforehand, but we've found it in our group a lot better to basically simply say whichever characters can act because of the card draw can choose a skill provided the GM approves that skill. The players have to come up with a reason why that skill is applicable in the current situation.
Let's talk about that during the week, because that pre-written thing, I think we did one once, and
I mean, I kind of like the way
James
found it. That's how I in my experience, it's always like explain what you want to do and like how it would be applicable. Like I was like, I'm plowing through a fence. I want to grab a piece of the fence and yeet that thing. Kind of like, and then what roles would allow me to do that kind of thing. I feel like
I could have handled that whole aspect better. Not
those
sure
weren't exactly
how on the fly.
Expecting a rush hour chase scene either.
Yeah, the chase scenes are not that easy to. There's some systems like Savage Worlds, they have a way to settle chase scenes.
Or I know first edition Pathfinder has a way to do it too, but that's a little involved.
Yeah, it's there's never really like.
We can maybe look at it and maybe pull some ideas, but.
I mean, how Savage Worlds does it is that you would roll agility or maybe strength, and then you would draw from a deck of cards, and then if depending on number is if you gain on the person or not. It's a very simple way to do it, but it's also a very boring way to do it.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, let's do some outros. James, let's start with you. Is your keyboard working?
No, it's something weird about Tabletop Simulator. Occasionally, what will happen is it's like my keyboard just gets stuck with the key on. So right now, if I'm in Tabletop Simulator, my screen's moving left. If I put into a text box, I'll start typing lots of A's. The only way to fix it is to either unplug my keyboard, which unfortunately my headphones are plugged into as well.
I have a problem with it where if I run it in borderless, and if I go to another monitor, let's say I click in Chrome, it'll click on Tabletop Simulator, even though I'm not in that program. It does that to me sometimes. It's weird. I don't know why it does that. So I feel your pain.
I'm in the market for a new keyboard anyway, so it's probably time to replace this one. It's pretty old.
Ducky shine, baby. Ducky shine.
Yeah. Somebody asked I think it was Crazy Bass asked in chat too, what is the rarest item in the game so far? And I was looking it up too, by the way. It's the Singing Spear. The Eldar Singing Spear is an 11 unique rarity. And Cyclone Missile Launcher is an 11 very rare. So you need 17 successes to get a Singing Spear.
Even a Cyclone Missile Launcher, I mean, first you have to have Terminator armor. Then you put a Cyclone Launcher on top of it. So if you have access to Terminator armor, getting a cyclone launcher, if your first company, shouldn't be that hard, right? And I assume at some point, they'll add like phase weapons and shit, kind of like Deathwatch and stuff had. Or
I think by the time you talk about getting Terminator armor, you're not saying in between missions, "Hey, I'm going to go and acquire Terminator armor." It's pretty much something that happens narratively anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't just because we have it doesn't mean you always deploy in it. But yeah.
So that's actually one of the things I've quite liked about 40K, especially Dark Heresy or Wrath&Glory games in the past, is the idea that if your character investigators, you have a whole suite of equipment and you simply pick what is the most applicable to, rather than carrying everything you own, murder hobo style, to sort of have multiple sets of armor, multiple weapons that are most applicable to the environment you're going into.
That was like the whole thing with Deathwatch is your rate of progression was not, oh, I'm going to pick up. I mean, you could pick up some more skills and stuff, but it was your reputation. The more missions you did, the higher your reputation, the higher you're standing within the Deathwatch, the more you would just get, because you don't get that and keep that. You use it for that mission and then return it in general, at least narratively anyway. So yeah, I assume they'll add more of the rarer stuff as they add supplements.
But no, so getting back to the outros, I think I saw a good game today. I really liked the role play at the start. You should probably do some more role play with each other. All the fantastic role play was between characters and NPCs. But I think that it was a great game as far as exposition goes, and I like the investigation aspect still as well. I'm glad that somebody broke the case in the opening scene, so we could get on with the investigation.
Yeah, I want to do more. It's kind of weird trying to do because Iron Hands are very they suppress their emotions with implants cybernetically, right? So it's almost as hard to do a character that it's very short, sweet, to the point, as it is to do one that's very involved and talkative or whatever. It's just the opposite side of that coin. But I'm trying to keep it as how I think a cold machine logic thinking person.
Try playing a highly emotional character who's trying to suppress their emotions.
I did. I've played a Deathwatch game. I played a Blood Angel Assault Marine, and they have the whole the red thirst and all that stuff. Having to hold back with that, and in some of the books like Devastation of Baal and Dante stuff, it talks about how they constantly have that thirst, and it's just an inner conflict the entire time. It's just the strength of will required, and I tried to bring that through in that. So I've kind of done both sides of it, and it's almost as hard, like I said, to do cold emotion. It's not that I don't have anything to say. It's just that I'm trying to think, how would someone with emotional suppressant react to whatever. That's just how the chapter is. If I was obviously a space wolf or something, it'd be different, but I'm not. So I think it's true to character.
Okay. I want to circle on back, James. Outros.
All right. So I'm James at the Grimdark Podcast, grimdarkpodcast.com or facebook.com/grimdarkpodcast. I have gone now nearly 2 months without doing an episode because my co-host has been sick and I've been in the US. So I've dedicated myself. I'm going to record a new episode this week. So much going on in the 40K world right now to talk about. I've noticed that because they've announced the Sisters of Battle box set coming out soon, but it's got a pretty hefty price tag. I think it's $250 US. Because it comes with the codex as well as 25 minis. But yeah, that one's going to be a November release, so I'm looking forward to that one.
Do you think they'll get an Apocalypse box?
I don't think they will. No, because
they don't have any heavy units.
Well, they've shown off new rhinos, so I would assume if they're doing rhinos, they're doing an update to the Immolator kit as well, because the older Immolator kit could be a rhino or an Immolator.
Yeah.
I don't know about the Exorcist.
I mean, I guess they really don't have any anti-armor kind of punch, right? So it might not make sense for them to do that. But
I mean, look, the Exorcist is okay for anti-armor. It's pretty much as effective as a Vindicator is, just with more range and indirect fire. Yeah. But yeah, anything that's D6 attacks, D6 damage is really swingy. You can do not much at all. You can do a lot.
Yeah.
But no, I think that they'll just focus. I mean, right now, Sisters of Battle in a really bad place in the meta. They're not a great army by any stretch of the imagination for competitive play. I went along to a GW this week and I was watching some playing going. There was a guy there with a Chaos army he'd won every single game he'd played so far, and it was the unfluffiest army I'd ever seen. It was so like 3 of these. That was his army. And it was just playing off the worst traits of.
I've been planning for a while, because I do Iron Warriors is the army I've been working on for 2 years now or so, whatever. And then the Iron Warriors is what I played back in. No, sorry, I played Black Legion back in 5th edition. But I'm like, okay, I'll do a Primaris army. It's gonna be Iron Hands, and then it's kind of like it's not really flavor of the month, whatever. And then they release a new codex. It's like, oh yeah, Papa Pharaohs and Dreadnoughts. Let's give Dreadnoughts a fucking 5+, invuln. It's like, oh great, now Iron Hands. It's just it's like, oh, they finally release Primaris Iron Hand stuff, and now it's the flavor of the month. So it's like, as soon as I start playing with it, now it's flavorless. Fuck off.
Yeah, well, I've started playing Eldar again just to practice for it when Psychic Awakening sort of hits its stride, because it looks like Eldar is going to be the next. I was so glad to see they're launching a new Jane Czar, because I hate the old Jane Czar figure. I've repinned that thing so many times. But it was the first model with only one toe connecting the miniature to the base. And now they've got a new model which has no toes connecting it. It's actually up in the air, connected by its hair to the base.
Okay,
so
that's a new one.
That's it. See what the new one's like.
I don't know.
But no, so this for me is just going to be podcasting this week and running Pendragon again this week, running BattleTech again this week, and paying my minis for the upcoming contest.
Okay, cool. Comic, let's talk about you.
Oh yeah, I'm Atomic Spoon. I play games on the internet sometimes when I'm not dying of the plague or whatever. Should be streaming more Warcraft stuff on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I sat out this past week because I've just been horribly sick and miserable and everything else. Here Wednesdays with New Game Plus 5e. We just started our new, I guess season 2 we're calling it. Because everybody's kind of changed characters now. And then I'm here on Saturdays with Wrath&Glory, and then I guess 8th edition as well. So yeah, you can follow me there on Twitch or Twitter, where I yell at people and call them idiots. I've also got a bunch of Space Marines I got to paint or assemble and paint now. So
it's real tough.
Yeah, my fingies are.
Sid, you made it. You got to the end. You're still alive. You haven't hacked out your blood from your body yet.
No, still here. My apologies to everyone every time for all the camera going black and stuff, but I'm feeling a bit under the weather, so thank you all for toughing it out with me. I do appreciate it. I'm going to have to force myself through recording the weekly line of sight video tomorrow. Not sure how I'm going to be able to make it through that, but I'll do it somehow. And once I'm feeling better, I'll be getting back to making YouTube videos on my channel. And then we're going to be back this Thursday for Pathfinder, I think. Pathfinder one shot.
Pathfinder second.
So that'll be interesting. We've got a bunch of non-human characters, and we're going to be trying out some interesting stuff there, especially with some alchemical things.
Fucking humans, man. Fucking humans every time.
I mean, it's 3 goblins and a half-orc.
Yeah. No, you're just following the tradition. And we hate humans too. They're just terrible.
Yeah, fuck humans.
As a human, I feel like this human hate very worrying.
I mean, as humans are pretty fucking terrible. As a human, I feel like I'm qualified to be able to say that.
I have this problem every time I run D&D or Star Wars. I've got to tell the players I want half the group to be human, because that is the style of science fiction and fantasy, is that the majority of characters are human and the outliers are other races. Whereas I've got groups that want to play all different races or all different species in Star Wars.
Yeah, we just shit on humans constantly in our game, our 5e game, which, there are a couple that are okay. And there are a lot of them that are fucking assholes. So,
Sid, you got anything else?
No, I think that's about it. As soon as we get done here, I'm going to go back to laying down and resting, because I need to recuperate. This week was abominably difficult for me. So,
Pondo, we came so close several times to you torturing someone, and yet somehow we threaded the needle. We avoided it through all chance. You didn't torture a single person. I'm so proud of you right now.
I mean, I was going to.
I know you were. And that's the thought that counts.
We delivered him to someone that performed the torture. I mean, we're tortured by association. To be fair, he requested specifically a chapter cybernetic.
So let me ask this question then. I mean, this is the speaking with the developer of Wrath&Glory, he specifically didn't want to put in Drukhari as a playable race on the basis he didn't want people playing games with basically torture porn. So I guess where are we going to draw the line on torture in this game? Like, at what point do we fade to black in the future?
I fade to black pretty early.
But
I just
here's the
ask
thing.
you if you're torturing somebody.
Here's the thing. I mean, you also have Drukhari that are like, you know, the Vizark or the oh god, what are the mercenary ones who are like the most trustworthy ones because they don't break a contract? Like they're not necessarily all, you know, just pure, you know, murder hobos and into BDSM and everything. You know, there are like some who are you could probably do where it wouldn't be that crazy.
You know what mercenary company never breaks a contract? Crow's Black.
That might actually be true.
I mean,
you said that, I immediately wanted to disbelieve you, but that might be true.
I'd actually be curious. I'll look in that document, James, the apocryphal one that guy made that I think I've shown you before. I wonder if Drukhari's in that because I didn't look.
Yeah, he's got Drukhari, he's got Harlequins as well. Because again, they didn't want to do Harlequins in Wrath&Glory because they figured that Harlequins were better as an NPC than a PC because so much of what they did was controlled outside of the individual.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could see not putting, you know, homunculus and stuff like that, or you know, whatever in there. But I think some of them, like I said, I can't remember what they're called. They're like the mercenary ones that, like, you know, they're fairly honorable as far as that goes. I mean, I could see Inquisitor getting his hands on one of those without, you know, too much effort. So,
So Pondo,
go ahead. Sorry
about that outro.
Sorry, keep cutting in.
I am Ponder Upon the Mad. Catch me on YouTube or Twitch /Ponder the Mad, or catch me here on Thursday nights playing BattleTech, or we'll be doing a one shot of Pathfinder 2nd Edition, where we'll be trying to set up a new business in order to make a more prospering one that wouldn't be taken out in about 5-10 years due to finally noticing of the big guys.
I mean, we're calling it the Horde of Hordes.
Sure. Or you can catch me on Monday night. Well, not Monday. Whenever AP's on vacation, playing Pokemon.
That's a thing.
That is the
Play
thing.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
And we'll play Total War at some point and put it up or something.
Yes.
At some point.
Yeah, Pondo has Gotrek and Felix now.
Soon TM. Blizzard soon.
Yeah, I've been looking up reviews of that, and the person I saw wasn't really impressed by it, but I might be, because apparently there's like a 20-turn thing you only keep them for, and you have to find them to hire them, but they're free.
Some people said thank you for the free characters, James, but you know,
thank you.
I started a Tomb Kings playthrough, and I really like the Tomb Kings. A very interesting mechanic in that. With the you don't pay for the armies, you just recruit them, but you can only have a maximum amount of units at any one time, and it's like it's just a different system of recruitment, and you have no upkeep, so it's just different, and I kind of like the way they work. So, you
know, James, I just want to thank you for everything you do for this group. I don't know what was being referenced, but
he knows everything. He knows all, and I love it.
The White Dwarf this month came with a add-on code for some characters for Total Warfare. Total War, which I gave to Pondo because I don't play it. Sorry, Atomic. I only have one code.
I don't even. I really play. I've been playing Tomb Kings. I've been playing the Drukhari. What are they? The pirates, the Corsairs, or whatever. I really fucking like. Those are fun because you don't have cities. You would just have floating. The Black Arcs.
So speaking of Corsairs, I got to say, Arthur, I'd completely forgotten that Void Sabers were like completely accursed pieces of warp fuckery. I was like, oh, they're a better stat power sword than an Eldar power sword. This make a great gift. So now that I've done that, I've actually had to think in my head, say how I'm going to actually resolve that. Like, why did you give me this accursed item, you bitch?
You're like, look, allow me to present you with this great gift, and she's like, ooh, a dead rat.
So you said I am getting an ancient, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll fix that next time we speak if she survives next battle.
Okay. Just tell her
Lapse
you've
in
been hanging out
memory?
with the Mechanicus too much. You really needed that time with the Seers.
I like James's comment is like, are these NPCs unintentionally shipping the fucking?
No, it's the opposite.
I'm like,
The
yeah, I'm like,
opposite.
I
They want
don't
you guys
know.
to stop spending time together. Look, they need to be able
But they're
to.
assuming there's something there's not.
I don't know.
I
Arthur, I
mean-
think you're so subconsciously fond of shipping people, or I think you are so fond of shipping
The
people.
thing, the
that
thing is,
subconsciously you're directly
I mean,
You
I
don't
guiding
think
yourself
that
towards
you
the
don't think
ship.
that people in leadership positions would be like, you're spending too much time with that person. Stop
mean-
speaking highly of them. Like,
I think it also would be a case of any of the higher ups in the 10th Legion would, as long as, I mean, it's allied against, especially our common enemy is like the arch enemy of the Iron Hands are the Emperor's Children, right? So like, it's kind of the lesser of two evils at the moment.
I prefer to think of them as Destiny's children. Really fabulous outfits, some color coordinated background schemes for their music videos, intense ballet and Terminator armor. The lesser of two weevils, you're gonna go there, Master and Commander.
Dude, Master and Commander is a fucking excellent movie, and if anybody's not seen it, should watch it.
Ponda, you got anything else to drop on us? Any more knowledge bombs?
No.
All right, James, I just want you to keep an eye out for this one, okay? At first, you just bring Pondo DLC codes, you think it's all good, then you're playing Stardew Valley with him, you cook him a lunch, you hand it to him, and he vendor trashes it. And that's it. That's when you realize he's using you.
I don't want to hear it from you. You were gonna make me friends on Switch, and I'm still waiting for that.
I don't know what your Switch code is.
Fucking shots fired.
Oh,
I got my
damn.
Switch right here, friend. Let's do it. Let's do it live on stream. I don't know how to do it, but I'll figure.
I'm trying to find Ancient in the list, and I see Primaris Ancient, but I don't see the normal Ancient.
There's Chapter Ancient in there.
Oh, is it just a Chapter Ancient?
Yep.
That's it for us. Is everybody good next week?
Yep.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Okay, then. Well, we will return then at that time and that place. Have a good night, y'all.